Welcome to Penny for Our Thoughts podcast, where you can get a third-party opinion on your worries, concerns, or problems that you may have. Don't keep it to yourself. Give some to us. My name is Gerald.
And my name is John, and we are your hosts for Penny for Our Thoughts.
Today we're joined by another very special guest, the first girl we have onto our podcast. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Micah. I swear I am a girl. I am a girl. My name is Micah. I am a nurse and I have hair.
You have hair.
That's good.
Did we establish she's a girl, right?
Yeah, I think,
Okay,
we got that. It'd be good to get a girl's opinion on some of these concerns because we've only had guys so far. So
yeah, what I've found is that with the one guest that we've had, it's very like objective. Like, no, obviously it's this, like, you know. But yeah, we'll see what happens now that we have a little bit of different perspective here.
Awesome.
Let's jump right in. Our first concern is from GoodFee2193. Title of the post is, "My boyfriend's parents are using fake vaccine cards to get into his graduation ceremony."
Oh.
It goes as follows. "I am from the United States. My boyfriend's parents are using fake vaccine cards to get into his ceremony, and I think that is not only morally wrong, but it is a public safety issue. He has allowed 3 guests, given that the guests show 3 valid vaccine cards. He does not see this as an issue, and he said that if I bring it up to him, to them or someone in power, he would never talk to me again. Obviously, he wants his parents there, but this is something that is hard for me to swallow. I love him, but I can't hold my tongue, especially since they are the people who talk garbage about illegal immigrants forging legal documents to gain access into the country." It's a good point. "I understand that it is their decision not to get vaccinated, but what gets me is how no one thinks this is a big idea. I am a biology major, and I am well read on the literature surrounding COVID-19. They're deciding to not get vaccinated due to their political ideologies, quote unquote, whatever that means. I would love some advice. I am stuck."
All right, nurse, take it away.
You could definitely hear the hypocrisy there.
Yeah.
But aside from the politics into it, it's just that's very illegal. I did hear or read somewhere that WHO has a separate card actually for vaccinations. That's different from the US vaccination cards that they have, because they do not see that the US card is valid.
Interesting.
Because it's just a white piece of card. You can basically print out your own, write down your own name, and just make it look like it's valid, but the WHO card is different. I don't know. I haven't read it in a while because I read it a while back when vaccinations first started rolling out. So that's why I'm kind of iffy about traveling or going to different places, because how are you going to prove that you actually are fully vaccinated? What's the proper steps getting into it? Because I know different places, different organizations would count something as more legit than the other. Like for us here where we are in Alberta, we just have a piece of paper. Some pharmacists have a card, but then how would you show international travel or something like that it's legit? Because you can definitely tell people can fake it pretty easily. That's just my opinion.
So what do you think this girl should do? Do you think she should is it a boyfriend?
Her boyfriend.
Yeah, so do you think that she should take it and tell the principal, I guess, or whoever is, like, it's a graduation, so
yeah, at this point it's probbe higher than the principal.
Oh, yeah,
it'd be above their pay grade at this point.
Honestly, I don't know. It's up to her. Like, does she want to go down that road where she has to break up with him? Because I think it would be it would draw the line between is it him versus her ideology, right? Plus his parents would think differently of her now, because if she do go through with speaking to like the higher ups,
authorities, right?
Right, and the authorities. So I don't really know. It's up to her about what she does, but I feel like morally she wants to. but I don't think she's ready to have that conversation with him and his parents. Because it would be easy to tell the authorities or whoever it may be that she decides to talk to, but it would be a different story when she talks to her boyfriend about it. I think it would be endgame for the two of them because it's really important to him based from how she worded it. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah. What do you think, John?
Is this like I might be dumb on this scenario, but it's not a legal thing, right? Like there's no legal restrictions saying that the parents can't go in unless it's like a school policy for the graduation.
I think the legality is in question when it comes to forging the document.
Forging, okay. Let me think. Okay, first things first. You can see there's hypocrisy there, just like what Micah said, right? If you're fighting against illegal immigrants having fake documents to be in the country, you're doing almost exactly the same thing. So we can't compare those to it's kind of like comparing apples and oranges. It's not the same thing, but you are almost metaphorically doing the exact same thing. Now, what should the girl do? Honestly, it's really up to her. Like if you think that's morally completely wrong and it's a public safety thing and you want to save everybody there, but let down your boyfriend and his parents, by all means go tell people. But my personal, if I was in this situation, I would just let it go. Graduations is a once in a lifetime thing. Yes, I think forging documents is wrong. I'm gonna put my foot down for that. But a parent's missing a son's graduation is again not a happy sight to see. You want the parents to be there for sure. If they just didn't forge it and the parents just didn't want to get vaccinated, that's fine by me, right? Everyone has the freedom of choice. Yeah, I know there's a nurse in here and stuff like that. Everyone wants.
Honestly,
everyone should get their vaccine. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got my vaccine. I'm sure everyone in this room got their vaccine, but I'm not going to force someone else to get it.
Yeah.
It's your choice, right? The wrong thing that the parents are doing is just the forging. I'm assuming, though, the school is making sure that everyone's vaccinated to come to this graduation. That's why they're forging it in the first place. If there was no requirement for that, I'm sure the parents would have been like, whatever, I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
Right? Forging papers that you've been vaccinated, I don't know. Forging anything is wrong. I'm going to say that out loud. But, it's one time thing, right? If they're abusing that, then again, I would tell the girl to be like, go tell the authorities, do something about this, because this is more of a bigger deal now. But just to go to her son's graduation, right? And maybe they do have their own personal, political, whatever, or biological reasons not to get the vaccine. And if that's the reason for them to miss out their graduation and they're forging it because of that, I think that's okay. Right? I think I would let it go.
Interesting.
What about you, Gerald?
It's a bit of a balancing act here. Yeah, I agree with you about the forging. Like that's straight up. I feel like, I don't know what state they're in, but I feel like that's straight up illegal. Is it a government document? Like, is that?
No, right?
I'm not really sure about that.
But under the assumption that it's maybe not a government doc, it's like an official record, forging, I definitely don't agree with. The situation, yes, I could see, but it all depends on how the attitude of the boyfriend's family is about this. If they play it off as if it's nothing that they're forging this, then I think that leads towards something down the road that their ideologies, her ideologies and her boyfriend's family's ideologies just don't mash up. Because at the end of the day, she's having a struggle deciding because it goes against her, who she is, what she would do.
Yeah. Right.
But then it sounds to me that she doesn't sound like she hasn't decided how valuable this relationship is yet. Because it's morally against her, in her fiber, whatever. But she's having a hard time deciding because it's her boyfriend. She loves him and whatnot. But personally, I'm not going to make it a black and white decision because it's hard. I'm just innately an indecisive person. But it would put seeds in my mind that would make me doubt my boyfriend's family in her position. If she's looking to marry into that family, how often are they going to butt heads in the future?
Exactly. Right.
And how often is she going to have to make the decision between what she feels is right and what her boyfriend and her family is going to do.
Exactly.
Right? Like I realize it's like very much putting the carriage in front of the horse. But that's where my mind goes in this situation. It's like, okay, that's why I emphasized earlier, how's their attitude towards this whole thing? Is it like, oh, this is a tough decision. We're going to have to forge this because this event is very important. Or is it like, who gives a crap about a vaccine? This doesn't work anyway. And it doesn't matter that this is an official document. Let's throw it out. So.
And I think I actually thought of this too. It's like, yeah, even that piece of paper, is that like a government issued thing? It's probably not, right? Because they're forging it pretty easily.
I don't think so.
So I think, yeah, again, forgery is still wrong.
Yeah.
But it's not like bad as like, forging like a driver's license or, something like a government, regulated thing. Right. So again, yeah, I think if I was her, I would think hard. If it's just a one-time thing, just to get into the graduation because the school made a policy saying that everyone has to be vaccinated, I would let it go.
Yeah.
But you're right. Just like what you said, we can go down this, rabbit hole saying that, is this going to clash in the future? Like, is there going to be political conflict or like just,
ideological, just
exactly,
straight up.
Right? So, yeah.
My concern is for her, she should think about whether that family that she's going to, if she's going to marry into that family, because we don't know if they're in high school or in university or something like that, right? She should think about whether they will respect her ideologies, right? If they would see it as, be open-minded about it, but still stick to their guns. Because she will still have to make some decisions with the family, right? And her voice, will it matter to them?
One thing that did stick out to me was he said that if I bring it up to them or someone in power, he would never talk to me again.
It's kind of controlling.
Yeah, like he's giving her an ultimatum about this. Like I realize it's his family. It's like it might be important to him, but like it's like my way or the highway sort of attitude,
Yeah, and I can definitely see that attitude.
Yeah, and beyond the whole debacle about forging is bad or should they go, but it comes down to, do you like this guy? Like,
Wait, didn't she say she loved him?
She did. So like, is that
doubting that love?
The fact that she framed it in that way.
Yeah.
Is she like, I don't know. This is going beyond the question now, but
it's part of the decision that she'll make.
For sure.
Right? It's one of the little things that can affect her decision. Like, does she point out the red flags in him and his family and what she's going to get into and what she feels and the red flags with that? Well, what else? Right?
Yeah. I mean, this is a little off topic. I'm just surprised the guy even told the girl. Like, it's not something you should just tell. Yeah, my parents were forging documents, just letting you know. But if you tell anybody about it, we're done. Like, who does that?
Hey, honesty.
Like, who does that?
Pillar of relationship,
Yeah, but like, there's things that you still keep to yourself, right? Like, I guess everyone's been in a relationship. There's things you keep to yourself. There's things you tell your partner. And this is one of those things that, like, unless asked, you just keep it to yourself. Okay?
Yeah,
Maybe
that's subjective, but I kind of agree there. It's like, it's a need to know basis sort of thing. Who's it hurting? They don't have COVID.
Right. That's the thing about COVID too. Is like, if people are scared of this virus, and everyone should be, right? As long as you're vaccinated, you're protected, right? We're not, if that person doesn't get vaccinated and he catches it, you're protected to some degree if you have the vaccine, right?
Yeah. May not be like a brick wall.
That's my reasoning for why I don't care if people get it or not. Yes, I think people should get it. I think people should all get it for the greater good. But if you don't want to because of your personal reasons,
that's fine.
That's your choice.
It's your body, right?
Yeah.
Your body, your choice.
So,
we're not going to get into that topic.
But yeah, again, I was a little off topic. It was weird that the guy just told his girlfriend and just, Okay, honesty is great, but it's, again, you're right. It's a need to know thing. You weren't, unless she asked, maybe she asked, right?
Maybe she just like found out.
Or maybe,
I don't know how, but maybe she just found out.
I'm thinking maybe they're just close like that.
They
might be a close relationship, but he's a little bit narcissistic, a little bit like that kind of person, but
maybe
not really, but their communication skills, they're pretty good.
Yeah, maybe.
That's my
just
guess.
very
It's
open.
just like out of the blue that he wants to share.
Okay, I'm a pretty open dude, but I wouldn't share that information.
But then, okay, think about it. If she finds out for whatever reason, like after the graduation already happened, how would this conversation go? Like if she didn't find out till after?
But okay, at that point, the water spilled. What are you going to cry over?
But like, how would that conversation go? I'm just like,
I feel like
going beyond. Like, if she found out after,
how would she find out?
well, it might come up though. It might come up at some point.
it could
Like a vacation, perhaps. Like, what if? After graduation, we're gonna go here, there, yada yada yada.
What if enough time has passed where you can joke about it? Where they're like, oh, let's go on vacation. We don't need the vaccination. Hey, remember that time where I forged documents to get into your graduation, son? And then she's like, what?
I think that's water under the bridge at that point. If it's that far, even if it's happens like 5 minutes after the graduation, they go home, they're like there for dinner. I think it'd be water under the bridge. It's done. They can't do anything about it. What's the point? Right? Unless, again, if those parents are continually using those documents to do other things that they shouldn't be, then becomes a problem. But if it's just a graduation, again, water under the bridge. Parents should be there for kids' graduation.
Yeah, I agree with that. But except for, that's what I'm worried about, what you mentioned, if they keep using it, or if their attitude, if this is a regular, like, there's just something they do, they con their way into and out of things. It's like, it sounds like she doesn't seem like the type to agree with those people. Anyway.
I don't think you would want to be part of that family anyway.
No, like, yeah.
I think it will weigh on her a lot.
Yeah,
Even
now
though
that she
it might
knows,
be
right?
water under the bridge, if she finds out a little bit, like a couple of minutes after, it would be at the back of her mind, right?
If she's an anxious type of person, she'd be like, what if this had happened? Or what if you're just asymptomatic? Or,
Or maybe she's just like...
There's so many things where... Like, I'm putting words into her mouth at this point. But like...
Again,
it's fun imagining that.
Maybe overanalyzing things, right?
Exactly. Maybe that speaks more about me. Anyway...
But then it goes, if we're going that way, then we're assuming that the parents are terrible and they're going to use this document over and over again. We shouldn't be assuming that. We can't.
No, we can't. We totally can't.
Yeah, so
again,
let's assume that the parents are using it for this one time and, that's it.
The Hollywood version of this movie is playing in my head right now.
It's like,
that's fair.
All the cinematics and everything.
Yeah.
But my only concern is try not to forge anything, please.
Try not to.
Try not. I mean, if it's like, I'm not condoning that you should forge like a parent slip or something like that. Like that might be something to protect yourself. But I'm just saying that please avoid it as much as you can.
If you get caught.
Yeah, you will.
But
if it's something that's like, never mind.
I'll leave it
as that. Just do not
not
do anything illegal.
Any final thoughts for this person?
I think that's it for Miss. It didn't say. Good fee 2193. Anyone?
Whoever that person is.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, moving on to the next one. This one, a little bit lewd. This one's from Fleshlight Virgin.
Okay.
The title is "My Mom Found My Fleshlights and Asked What They Were." So while we're getting ready to go to a vacation, my mother was looking through my drawers, looking for clothes to take. While looking, she found my fleshlights. I, 19, male, was in the kitchen. I heard her call me. She asked, "Hey, what is this?" in a confused tone. I responded with, "Do you not know what they're for?" As this was happening, I was trying to think how I would tell her what they were for. And there was no way she would just ignore it if I ignored her. I manned up and I told her they were for masturbation. Once I told her, she kept saying how I should get a girlfriend. I told her I got it because of quarantine. She continued and talked about how she was disappointed. "Your brother never did this. My brother's older than me and no longer lives with us." About 5 minutes passed by and we act like nothing's happened and we haven't mentioned or talked about it. I tried talking about the mini vacation we're going on. She responded with, "I don't know. I can't even think straight right now. I need advice. What do I do? Should I act like nothing happened? Should I talk to her about it? I just don't want her to think that I am some perverted weirdo." Especially since on one of the fleshlights was a mouth opening and the other was the vaginal opening. I feel weird. My mother hasn't mentioned it since. This happened about 2 hours ago from writing this. Give me some advice on what to do, please. And as a note, there's an update. since this was 2 hours.
Okay.
Holy.
Yeah. So this is a bit more of a like a.
I feel like it's up to your aunties. I don't really know what I would do if I was that person.
It's not really like.
Well, no, you can switch it around, right?
That's true. Like if they find something
like if they
else
find the girl version of
yeah,
like a vibrator or whatever,
or maybe a dildo or something.
Or yeah,
like that.
something. Yeah. Right. Like this is less like moral decision, more of like, oh,
What
that's
do you
awkward,
do, right?
you know? Because she's gonna be your mom. She's gonna be your mom no matter what, right? So how are you gonna handle this?
And I think it's funny that the parent labeled it as a, well, your brother didn't do it. Well, because you didn't find out.
Honestly, he could have been doing it too, for all we know.
He definitely was doing it. Like, let's be real.
Girl, he got hands.
He's got.
He was like, the younger one is just smart enough to buy something a little bit better, or maybe something like that.
Get more money
right?
or whatever.
Got more
Anyway.
money, no more problems.
Like that is not a situation I don't think anyone would want to find themselves in.
It's awkward, but time will pass. That's my 2 cents.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Are you just gonna let it simmer, sort of thing, and then sort of pretend it didn't? Just don't talk about it. Like in this very situation, your mother has found your fleshlight. This very moment, you're sitting here, mom's upstairs. Do you just?
Yeah, I just pretend it never happened.
Just wait it out, hey?
I would wait it out. Maybe this is my personality. I would wait it out. Why? It's already awkward as it is. Why bring up that awkwardness again and talk about it? Right? It's your money. You bought it. You're 19 too. You're an adult now. Right? It doesn't matter what you buy. Right? I mean, right now, where we are, all right, so a lot of places marijuana is legal. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of parents are against that idea, but it's legal.
That's true.
So what's your parents gonna say? Yeah, your parents might be like, your brother didn't smoke weed, but because it was illegal at the time, right? So,
that's a good point,
right? And you're 19 years old. Yes, it's an awkward situation, but time will pass, right? It's your mom, right? Yeah, she might be like, oh, technology has advanced, so it's a little bit more awkward for her. It's more like mind blowing more, but. Over time, I guarantee you even, I mean, this is weird to say, but your mom has probably something or done that.
Yeah, this is true.
To a degree.
I mean,
right?
She has a son, right?
Yeah. She has a son. At some point, she would have had to expect, like, unless they're from a very, like, conservative growing up where it wouldn't even pass through anyone's mind at that point or at their age, like, she would have to have had the idea. I think for the mom, it's more of shock and like, oh, my little boy's not a little boy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So, what do you think?
I honestly agree with both of you guys. I think she just needs some time to, process things, or a lot of time, because moms would definitely see their kids as their kids. Even though they're like 25 or like, even though they're reaching their 50s, they're still their babies. They'd still think that they're babies, right? So
like
I think she needs some time to process things. She needs to remember that you guys or her sons are growing up. They're not just kids anymore, right? He's 18. He's 19, right?
19, yeah.
19. Yeah. Honestly, if I was that person, if it was me, if they found my lady stuff, if I do have lazy stuff, they found it.
Nice save.
I'm not going to say that I have some, but if they do find it, I'll be like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Just gotta toughen out the awkward silence, the everything in between. Just chillax, use it.
Use it.
Get your mind out of the things, just like enjoy your youth, They're your parents. They'll love you no matter what, right?
Yeah. At some point, they kind of have to forget about it and be your mom. Sort of
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read the update here, unless you had something.
No, just again, another little off topic is, dude, your mom's savage, man. You use that. Well, get a girlfriend. That's why you get a girlfriend.
That's what moms are for, man.
Your mom's savage, man.
That's what moms are for.
Get a girlfriend, okay? You don't need those things. Just get a girlfriend. Fixes your problems.
I like how she didn't have a problem with that. It's like,
I was gonna mention that too. Like, I mean, would you be like taken back if you like walked in on your son and his girlfriend, like doing it
instead of a fleshlight?
Yeah,
I think she might be happy.
I feel like she's that kind of mom where do things the normal way, not this like.
I think
the normal way.
Like I don't think she has a
concerned.
personally. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying she might be concerned with what it might lead to. Like he might just be stuck with that, but I don't think he would.
Yeah,
he would
I don't
love
think
some intimacy.
It's a toy, right? Like
there's gonna be maybe like 2% of the people of all guys that might lead to a different way than the normal way eventually.
Yeah.
Right. And there are gonna be some, but it's very seldom.
I think the mom's concern is more of the fleshlight as opposed to the masturbation. Because you see, I feel like if you see one of those things, you're gonna be shocked. You're like, that's like, what is that thing?
Yeah, I would be shocked.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna read the update.
All right.
We made a stop on the vacation and mentioned it to me. She mentioned it to me, but she said she's just surprised that I told her what it was for, not that I had them. She genuinely said, "I didn't know what they were for. You should have just lied to me." I know we have a good open relationship, but I did not want to know what that was for. I'm disappointed that you told me what it was for.
What kind of comment is that? That is just planting and watering the seeds for just lying for everything. She might say that now, but once she finds out, 10 years into the future, when you're married and stuff, she's gonna appreciate you were honest with her. Because imagine you went the other way, right? You lied, and then technology is pretty good. Google's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
2 years down the road, she finds out, she's gonna be like, "You lied to me."
Yeah.
Right.
But then at that point,
water under the bridge.
Under the bridge.
Exactly, but I feel like she should just leave it as is, right?
Yeah.
Like John said, she will appreciate that he actually told her what it is for.
Yeah.
That he was open to her sharing everything, but
that poor mother.
Keeping some things,
Now she just has ammunition for his wedding speech, I still remember when you were 19, you told me that you use your fleshlight to masturbate.
No, you
could have just lied to me, but you didn't, and I appreciate it. I mean, yeah. It's still like, imagine like your wife hearing the story for the first time on her wedding day. And she's like, you are so lucky to have my son because he is so honest, for example.
Please, don't.
Anyway.
And again, if it gets there, it's going to be a funny story. Right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to end up in laughter. It's awkward now. You'll grow up. You'll get a girlfriend. Yeah, you'll find a girl, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of apps out there. Internet dating's a thing now. You're going to find someone and it's going to be a laugh. So you're worried now. You're 19. You're young. So you're kind of like, oh man, what should I do? Don't worry about it. Time will pass. Everyone will forget about it. And if someone does bring it up, it'll just be a laugh.
It'll just be a laugh. You're right. Yeah, just leave it until she's not awkwarded out by you anymore. She's not weirded out by talking to her son. And then I think you should be in the clear.
Yeah. Just do what you got to do.
Just do what you got to do.
And find a girlfriend too, like your mom says. Right? I mean, what was it? What was the username again?
Fleshlight Virgin.
So I'm assuming, you are a virgin. So nothing wrong with being virgin at 19 years old. Just I'm sure you'll have your time.
Yeah.
Right. And then once you find a girl, I'm sure you won't use it anymore. No, actually.
Honestly,
I took that back pretty fast.
You won't use it as much.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. But you never know, right? Maybe
she's into it.
Yeah, you never know. Or maybe he'll cut cold turkey. Maybe he likes the real thing better. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you just need to find someone who are open to things, right?
Yeah.
Like open to who you are as a person, what you've used and not used.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't think I'd mind people having those things. Like it's not a big deal if you have those kind of things.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do.
Scratch the itch however you need to.
If you're not hurting anybody with it,
exactly, right?
That's it. Unless they're into it,
Moving on.
All right, let's move on. I think we covered the second one pretty well. So let's move on to the third one before we go down the rabbit hole again.
Okay, so we're jumping around here. We're pretty dark topic. This one's from Horny Rhino. And the title is, I found my mom cheating on my dad. I don't know what to do. Help, please. I don't know what to do and I'm really stressing. Help. And the message goes, I saw on my mom's Facebook messages that she's talking with a guy from overseas. It's not a scammer. She went to school with him. She's making plans to meet up with him after COVID. In the messages, she says that she had an affair 3 years ago. My mom makes a lot more money than my dad, and if they get a divorce, I think that my dad won't be able to support us. Us being my dad, me, 15 years old, and my twin sister. I have photos of the messages just in case. I don't have a clue what to do about it. I haven't told anyone. I'm falling into depression, having severe anxiety about this and other things. Please help. Any advice is wanted on what to do or just about life. Thank you for reading.
Okay. Before I comment, I just want to make sure I got it right. So the mom cheated 3 years ago?
It sounds like she cheated. She had an affair 3 years ago and is still talking to the guy.
And, the guy that she's talking to is the one she cheated with? Huh.
With. Not on, with.
Interesting. That is very difficult, especially for a young guy, right? Or is she just talking to someone else?
I'm not sure. It's kind of vague on that front, but she's apparently she had an affair 3 years ago and is talking to a guy that she's planning to meet up with. So I'm not sure. It's not clear whether or not this is the guy that she cheated with 3 years ago
or if
or a different guy.
Or she might be repeating the same thing over again.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is very tough because he's 15 and...
He or she, I'm not sure.
Or he or she, whoever this person is pretty young.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in for this person. I could definitely feel it if I was that person. I'll give the floor to you guys. You guys can start. I just wanted to make sure I got the facts right.
I would talk to the mom first. Because, again, this is not me. I'm pretty, socially conservative on mine. I want to meet a nice girl, get married, have kids, have a family, blah, blah, blah. But, as time passes, there's a lot of weird things going on in the world that I might not do, but other people are completely okay with. There might be a chance, because it's 15, you might not know, there might be a chance that that's, both the mom and the dad are okay with that. The parents are okay with that, right? So some people have an open relationship in a marriage. And that could be the case, right? So then I would talk with the mom first and see if that's the case. Does dad know about this? Is he okay with it, right? Because if dad, for all we know, dad's in the loop. He knows everything what's going on. He knows about the 3 years ago and he knows about this one, right? And if that's the case, then no harm, no foul at that point because it's between them. That's their thing. Just let it pass, right? It's what they enjoy. Let it happen, right? If it isn't, though, you talk to your mom and then you find out it isn't, then I would just tell my dad right away. That's just me. I don't condone adultery or cheating or whatever. So I would just tell my dad right away. I understand that you're worried about financial means because your mom makes way more money than your dad does. But once, if the divorce happens and all that happens, I'm sure, it doesn't matter if you're the mom or the dad. Whoever makes most money, I think, pays child support to whoever or pays money. That's what I think.
Legally, yeah.
Yeah, legally. I mean, your mom could take you guys as custody if it goes down that road. Let's not think dark things or anything like that. But if it goes down that road, if your mom takes custody, then your dad just wouldn't pay anything because he can't he can't financially support that. So it won't be that aspect. So if you're worried about the legal and the financial matter, I don't think you should worry about that. That's more of an adult thing. Let the parents take care of it. Let the legal system take care of it. What I would do is figure out what is going on. Is this, what they want? They both know. Do they both consent to this? If not, then I would tell my dad. But you don't have to. I was saying I would, but you could make a different decision. Just stay quiet about it. But all the things I've seen, TV shows, movies, telling always seems to be better. What about you, Gerald?
I agree with all of that. I agree with talking to the mom first. But the one thing that I don't necessarily agree with is that if the dad does know about it, that it's good, that it's fine. Because imagine the trauma this person going through. Him or her and the twin sister. Like, just because that the parents are good with it, if they've been in the quote unquote conservative traditional mindset of a family of like mom is mom, dad is dad, no one else is in the family. You know, if that suddenly like breaks, if that point of view gets broken by their mom cheating, like that's traumatic. Like obviously this person is going through depression, anxiety and whatnot. And on that front, I don't know, assuming that it's fine between the parents. I mean, dad knows, he's like, yeah, mom has her needs. We've talked about this. The parents need to handle this very carefully.
Yes,
so
I
they
would
don't,
agree with you
they
on
don't
that, yeah.
like damage their children essentially.
I agree.
So once they find out, or once once it's on the open, both the kids know, I feel like, I don't know if like they're going to do it, but I feel like therapy or something similar should come into play. Not to fix, not like couples therapy to fix mom and dad, more so to make sure that the kids aren't, you know, permanently traumatized emotionally by this.
Yeah, to support the children in that case.
So what I would mean by like don't do anything if the dad's okay with it is more like, yes, the parents should have a long, deep conversation with the kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But like I guess like the 15-year-old doing anything, like I don't know what you could possibly do. That's kind of why I said like don't do anything, but yes, have a deep conversation. Talk to your parents about this. Your parents should really sit you down once you find out, assuming everyone's okay with this, right? Talk it out and have a deep conversation, have a heart to heart, and then obviously move on. Now, judging by his post, yes, I think he's, you know, you are suffering from depression and stuff like that. The main thing is, it doesn't matter what happens, is you got to take care of yourself, right? The biggest thing I could personally say is, you know, really don't let yourself get down, but it's hard. It's easier said than done. But if you're, you know, beating yourself up and bringing yourself down, in the future, it's going to affect you a lot more. But the big thing is if you're healthy, you're mentally healthy, and you work on yourself and you know, you're still in school, so you get good grades and stuff like that, that's going to pay off way longer than this little incident. Easier said than done. Right now, I'm just saying it, right? But since you're 15, your whole life is ahead of you. Don't let this one little thing, whatever road it goes down to, don't let it affect your whole life. Is what I want to say.
Yeah.
I think I agree to all of those things. He can go differently with it. I think he just needs to talk to other people, not just to himself, not just to his parents. Talk to his support group or his friends, right? Yeah. Like, just don't keep it to himself. And for sure, he should talk to his parents about it so he can get some answers. But if he's just bottling everything up, he needs to talk to somebody about it, someone he can trust. And so that he can open up a little bit better, especially when he talks to his parents. Because talking to his parents, that might be a big deal for him. It might be too hard to do because there's that authoritarian imbalance, right? There's a power imbalance, power imbalance and stuff like that for them. And I think in his perspective, he's just worried about his dad. And I feel like he already decided who he's going to go with. Yeah. Already, like, based on how he worded it, like, I don't know how my dad will support us. I think he already sided with his dad. He has to keep in mind not to be angry with his mom when he talks to her about it. I know there might be some anger there for sure, but to try to be open-minded when you do talk to your mom, because you need to know the facts. You need to know what's going on for you to know and understand what it is, how you are in this situation, how it's going to affect you and your sister, and how it's going to go, right? So just try to be open-minded with it. So that's why I suggest to talk to someone about it before you talk to your mom first, so that you know what to do, what other people might tell you to do.
More prepared, right?
Right.
It always helps to find that. And even if like you were just talking to me earlier about trying to decide about what to buy, you always bounce it off someone else, right?
Yeah.
This is just a very like escalated version of that. It's like, what should I do in this situation? I guess that's what we're giving to this person. But in this, I feel like in this situation, a support system is very important.
Yes.
Whether that be professional help or just venting to your friends, there needs to be something. You know, you can't just, like you said, you can't just bottle it up.
My vote is professional help on this one.
Yeah.
Friends are great, but if it comes to family issues, I would say go professional help, right? Even your friends, and I'm sure you have great friends, they're not going to understand the situation. Then maybe a professional might. But I mean, even if they don't 100% understand it, they can obviously help you in their way, right? A 15-year-old, you know, it's not 100% nice or fair to say that a 15-year-old can help a 15-year-old very lot. Like it's not very highly, you know, possible
I know what you mean.
In that way. So I would seek professional help if that's the case. I kind of want to mention that there might be a slight chance. And again, if it goes down this road, maybe it will, maybe it won't. But if you do confront to your mom about it and your mom asks you to lie to your dad about it, then it becomes a much bigger problem at that point to tell your dad right away. Because as a mom's job, again, this is my, you know, socially conservative view of a family.
Right.
The parents' job is to protect the kids. Right? It should never be the way around until they're older, right? A 15-year-old kid should be protecting his mom, his or her mom, right? The mom should be protecting the 15-year-old. So if she's asking you to lie for her, then you need to tell your dad right away. That's what I would do. That would be like the final straw for me.
It would need to be between them at that point.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because if it's right now, it's between the mom and the dad. But once she asks you to lie for her, then she's kind of bringing you into this whole situation and this whole web of lies.
She's making it your problem too.
Exactly.
Well,
even more so.
Technically, it's not the parents' problem; it's the family's problem.
I get it. That's what I meant. Family's problem. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Because because it still affects the kids. Yeah.
It's a tough situation to be in, regardless.
I just hope that it goes well.
Yeah. Hopefully they come out the other side.
Right.
You know, I don't think there'll be a unified family. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, but I do hope that things go well for the person and their twin.
Yeah. At this point, I think to boil it down, talk to the mom, see what her intentions are, see if dad knows about it. If dad doesn't know about it, would you say talk to dad right away? Or would you like try to see outside opinions? Because it's all very bottled up.
If dad knows about
doesn't know about it. I guess both. Let's do this one first.
If dad knows about it, yes, I think you should talk to your dad. Because at that point, because he knows about it. So there's no like hiding, there's no lying or anything like that point, right? Now you're pretty much setting yourself up for a nice conversation, for a deep conversation. Figure out what is going on, what's the dynamic of this marriage, of this relationship, of this family, right? Then maybe it'll clear your head a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
If the dad doesn't know about it, I would both cases I would go to the dad.
Oh.
This is just me. Right. I believe that, you know, no one should commit adultery. Cheating is one of the worst things you could do to a person.
I agree with that.
And especially if it's my dad, right?
Yeah.
Like, I got to tell him.
I have a question.
Okay.
Would you tell the twin?
Ooh.
No. I'm going to say no.
I'd feel bad, though, if I was the twin. If I wasn't in the loop. It was like, what the... Oh, wait.
We can cut it out.
I'm so sorry.
Because
I didn't mean to swear.
The reason why I wouldn't tell the twin is you in this post that we got, like in this concern that we got, you're going through like a mental trauma situation, right? And in my perspective, just to protect my twin, I wouldn't. The truth is going to come out eventually. Especially if the dad's not okay with this. I mean, if it leads out a divorce and blah, 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 I'm sure it'll come down to it. But it's better to find out from the source than finding out from someone like,
that's true.
Yeah, from like a third party. I guess not really a third party, but yeah.
I think it's more important that whoever doesn't know yet doesn't know until if it does come out that it won't be tainted. You know what I mean? Because right now it seems like they're pretty traumatized. And if they tell their twin, they're gonna communicate that with a veil over it that's tainted by like, I'm so mad at mom. Mom is,
yeah, exactly.
Right. Where you never know. Like, if like you said, if the dad knows about it, if they're cool with it, it could just be a conversation of how do you feel about this rather than let's gang up on mom or let's pack our bags, leave with dad, you know?
Plus, you never know what the twin knows, right?
Yeah.
What if the twin knows or sides with
yeah, that's true.
mom? Who knows?
Right.
You won't know until the very end. That was just my curiosity.
Right. That's a good question, though.
Mm-hmm. Will you tell your twin first? Or who do you tell first?
Who do you tell first?
Do you tell your friends? You tell your twin? I didn't even think about it until like the very end because usually I don't have a twin, so I talk to my friends more.
Usually you don't have a twin.
I usually don't have a twin unless I look at the mirror and like.
Hey, good looking.
That's a crappy situation to be in.
That is a tough situation to be in.
But I think don't jump to conclusions, right? Seems like you're team dad right now, 100%, and that's jumping to conclusions.
No, I think you can be team dad without necessarily jumping to conclusions. Like you already know if you personally, you said you're against adultery and your mom is committing adultery. You're going to be team dad regardless whether or not your dad knows.
True, but I mean, if the dad knows about this and consents to it, for all we know, the dad could be doing the exact same thing somewhere else.
That's true.
At that point,
so
that's kind of the idea I went through, where like they're okay with that whole idea. So then you can't really choose sides because they're okay with it. I think, like, again, it's weird to me, but if they're both consenting to this and they're okay with it, like, is it, and they know about it, is it cheating?
I don't know.
Right? That's the thing we would have to talk about. But is it cheating? Is it committing adultery if your significant other's like, yeah, it's fine, I'm okay with that.
Open relationship.
Yeah. It's like, if it's open, is it committing adultery?
Or maybe you swing, right? Who knows?
Yeah. That's what he's saying. If they both are into it, right?
I'm kind of concerned as well because we don't know what the story is too. He doesn't know if the dad did it, what caused his mom or her mom to do it. Was it because there's troubles in the relationship? You never know, right? Yeah. So it's hard to pick a team. Just pick a team yourself and your twin, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
You against the world at this point. Yeah. You and your twin. Because you don't know how it's going to go between your parents if it does go sour or bad at the very end.
Yeah. For the record, regardless of relationship issues, I don't think it should ever resort to cheating. Just for the record.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah. I would break up with someone first before I go date someone else or whatever. Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's one of the worst things you could do.
You're not having a good time. Tell the person you're not having a good time. Break up with them before.
Yeah.
Going with someone else. Anyway.
Also try to de-stress because it's stressing you out a lot. So
yeah, like find. I think the biggest de-stressor would just be to talk about it, to release it at this point. But like
or do things you enjoy.
Yeah.
Hang out with friends. You don't have to talk about it. Just go play video games or whatever you do with your friends. Play sports if you're into that. Whatever it might be. You just got to get your mind off it. Right. Again, I want to reiterate that, like, don't let this moment define who you are for the rest of your life.
You need a break from it every 100%. Now and then, right?
But I think most importantly, once it gets out in the open, then you can, I think for this person, then he or she can concentrate on doing other things. Because now that they know, it's like they're not going to be able to do anything else until some sort of resolution happens here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that wraps up number 3?
That wraps up number 3. And that looks like that was the last one.
Awesome.
A little bit of a doozy, that one, eh?
Yeah.
Yikes.
Cool. So do a quick recap of 1, 2, 3, and
so
we'll be done for today's podcast.
Yeah, this episode ended pretty quickly. First one was about the fake vaccine cards.
You want to wrap that up for us, Micah?
What did we all end up thinking about?
I think we all agreed that it's up to her, right? And what to do. Yeah. It's up to what she wants, like if she wants to talk to him about it or if she's open to that conversation of if it's a right or wrong thing for her, right? Or if she thinks about breaking up with him or whatnot, or if she really wants to be morally correct about it. It's all up to her. She just needs to figure out whether she is ready for that talk with him.
Yeah.
And try not to forge anything.
Yeah.
Please don't do anything illegal.
For me personally, it came down to how the family would address it, as if it was a casual thing or a one-time thing, right? If it's a one-time thing, then like I'd probably let it slide. But
yeah, exactly what I was gonna say. Let it go if it's a one-time thing, whatever. It's water under the bridge at that point.
Yeah.
If they're abusing it, you need to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do something, or you need to leave if it completely goes against who you are.
Exactly.
Second one was Fleshlights.
This one was pretty self-explanatory. Let time pass.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing you can do now to make it less awkward. Just let it pass. Your mom's gonna eventually find out it's a normal thing. It's fine.
Or just accept it. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's your mom. She's not gonna hate you. It's kind of weird that she made that comment of, you should have lied to me. But I'm sure she just said it like in that thing. You said it was 2 hours in between, so maybe she was still like in that headspace. Guarantee later on she's gonna appreciate your honesty.
And it just clued into me now that it's Fleshlights plural.
Whatever, man. More the merrier at that point, I guess.
Whatever floats your boat, right? And finally, the last one, mom's cheating on dad, and I just found out. Talk to mom.
Someone, yeah.
Talk to mom, talk to someone else, talk to dad.
Yeah.
Find out more information of whether you think that'll tell you whether or not the situation is salvageable.
Or talk to your twin.
And probably, honestly, therapy at some point.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd recommend high school therapy. No.
I don't know their high school, but
because counselors might be
they might judge you
wishy-washy, right? And also it might you're technically bringing the school into your family life.
Yeah.
So try to avoid that and just use professional help when you do have money for it in the future.
If you have access.
Yeah, because right now you're 15. You don't know whether the counselors are the best for you at this moment.
Trustworthy.
Right. You don't know because they're not the best. A lot of people have complained about counselors that they're not the best people to talk to. They don't really like it. Or even like professionals.
Yeah.
You just got to figure out which ones you want to do. So it might be in the back burner for now, but make sure you talk to your friends, your family.
And
what school counselors, like, again, it's just, I might not be educated in this stuff. What school counselors, like your general counselor? Like, I only use my school counselor as like for educational counseling purposes only.
I think you
can. Honestly, you can.
Okay.
There's
I've
a
never
case
done
in
it,
my school actually that counselors have been involved. So, there's multiple counselors in different high schools. They can only have one. They can have one or multiple, and they handle different things. So,
okay.
But I do suggest try not to.
Yeah,
I talk to my counselors educational purposes only.
I don't think I ever talked to my counselors, dude.
I've never talked to anybody. I've never talked to anybody in school.
Yeah, I never did.
Just the teachers. That's it.
Yeah,
but
teachers. I had good teachers I'd talk to, but never I didn't even know who the counselor was.
Well, because I knew because I wanted to fix my schedule a lot. That's why I was off at like 12 o'clock for the whole year in grade 12. I lived a grade 12 life, dude.
That's a good counselor right there.
Yeah.
But I didn't bring like family dirty laundry into that situation.
No.
It was just educational purposes only. So
yeah. Plus, that's a very formative 15 years old.
Yeah.
Very formative time in your life. If that somehow gets out in your school, there's some mean kids, dude. They're going to bully about that.
And that's what I was going to say too, is like when you talk to your friends, like it could backfire on you.
Yeah.
Because that's how rumors spread, right? You tell one trusted person, that trusted person's got to tell another trusted person.
That's true.
And it's going to, if it spreads like wildfire, dude, I wouldn't want to go and get into that, but that's way worse than
just dealing with it.
Or unless you have a friend who had divorced parents.
Yeah. Maybe that could be one.
A point that you could bond over.
Because they might feel the same thing that you're feeling right now.
Colleague.
That's why I suggest the twin, because it's within the family.
True. That's true.
But who knows? We'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully, there's a happy ending there. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes episode 4.
Wow.
of our podcast. We're 4 already.
It's going quick.
Thank you very much, Micah, to be our special guest for episode 4. It's good to get a girl's insight on these concerns.
You're welcome.
You're a girl, not a robot.
I'm a girl, I swear.
Anyway, for all you listeners out there, thank you for joining us.
And if you have your own problems, concerns, or worries, don't hesitate to give us an email at givesometous@gmail.com. Again, it's just givesometous@gmail.com. When you send it in, give us much information as possible. Don't go into the nitty details, just so we have more information to work with.
Yep.
But yeah, if you want us to listen to them, read them, and talk about it on here, please give us an email. But other than that, thank you very much for tuning in, and hope to see you guys again next time.
Thank you very much. Stay kind to each other.
Bye.